Will the Bengals bring home a win today in Denver, improve to 5-2 on the road, and keep pace in the AFC playoff race? Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapien with allbengals.com and Cincinnati Bengals Talk. And yes, the Bengals are shorthanded going into today's matchup, but happy game day. It is an exciting time for Bengals fans. 7-6, right now the 9 seed, but there's a bunch of 7-6 teams right now in the AFC, and guess what? A win would do wonders because it would give the Bengals an edge over one of those 7-6 teams today, the Denver Broncos. The Bengals shorthanded going into today's game. No Riley Reiff, no Isaiah Prince, no Vernon Hargreaves. So Fred Johnson, come on down at right tackle. I talked about Johnson and him getting the start at right tackle, and I do think it's a storyline to follow. It's a storyline to pay attention to. But if you're not going to have Riley Reiff, this would be the first week to not have him because there's no Bosa on the other side. There's no Garrett. There's no TJ Watt. Bradley Chubb's pretty good. And outside of that, and that's the part of it where I think this offensive line should, and that's the key word, should be able to hold up and be much better than they were last week to start things off. And certainly much closer to what we saw when the Bengals were, winning back-to-back games a few weeks ago and had success, whether it was against the Ravens or the Steelers, because this game is just so huge for their playoff chances. Depending on what happens this week, they could go up to over 50% chance, over a 50% chance to win. Or if they lose today, it could drop down to about an 18% chance. And there's a lot of things that go in that, but it's a big game. And so not having Riley Reiff, it is a bummer. But the Bengals, they won't have Chidobe Awuzie either. They are getting Trae Waynes back. And I know a lot of Bengals fans are mad at Trae Waynes because he signed that big deal, 3 years, $42 million, and he's played 2 games since signing that deal in March of 2020. I understand it, okay? Understand the gripe, understand the complaint. I also can't help but think, man, what if this guy brings something to the table? What if this is, he's finally healthy and he can be the cornerback one, even if it's for a month, that the Bengals need. And obviously, Awuzie, he's on COVID-19 reserve list right now. He'll come back at some point this year, you would imagine. Might be back next week. Not going to play today. And so hopefully Waynes can be that guy. He's certainly a good tackling corner. That was part of why the Bengals went after him in free agency. And they're going to need him to tackle well today against Javonte Williams, against Melvin Gordon. This Broncos team wants to run, and then run some more. And that's why the Bengals elevating from the practice squad, 2 linebackers for a second straight week. Austin Calitro elevated from the practice squad. And as was Keandre Jones, by the way. So 2 linebackers there. They also elevated Trent Taylor. And that tells you all you need to know about the punt returner position. Trent Taylor is going to return punts today. And I have some numbers here for you. He's returned 49 career punts for 471 yards in 4 seasons with the 49ers. Missed an entire year, so it's really a 3-season sample size. But Trent Taylor on the practice squad, elevated for today's game. He was a COVID-19 call-up and certainly going to be able to hopefully give them a boost on special teams. And I wouldn't be shocked if he returns kickoffs, or pay attention to Chris Evans. And I think Chris Evans is kind of a dark horse going into today's game. Everyone knows about the 3-headed monster at wide receiver, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Everyone knows that the Bengals want to get Joe Mixon involved. But what happens on those plays where Jamar Chase doesn't get the separation needed, or Tyler Boyd isn't open, or T. Higgins falls down, or whatever the case is, and Joe needs to go somewhere else? Maybe Burrow finds number 25. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield. Wouldn't be shocked if he lines up on kickoff returns, most of which are going to go out of the back of the end zone because of the altitude at Mile High Stadium. So kickoff returns, probably a moot point today. We'll see, but that would be my guess as far as that goes. But Trent Taylor, your punt returner, we'll see how he does. He has a career high of 39 yards, has been pretty sure-handed, looks good in practice, and I thought he was the best punt returner during training camp. So we'll see if he can seize the job, so to speak, starting today in Denver. And that's the thing, is this right tackle spot, I think that it's not going to just be because Riley Reif's going to miss the rest of the year, essentially. And who knows, maybe he could come back for the playoffs or, magically heal and be good to go. But it doesn't seem good after he got rolled up on last week and re-aggravated that ankle. But Deontay Smith now going to be active, was activated from injured reserve on Saturday. Not going to start, like I said, Fred Johnson. But this is a chance for Deontay Smith and then Isaiah Prince when he gets healthy to show that they belong, that maybe they can be a piece to the puzzle here in the trenches for the Bengals. And one thing Zach Taylor said on Friday, because we asked about, I think Ben Baby of ESPN asked about this, shuffling guys in at that right tackle spot to see if they can be building blocks for the future. And Taylor's like, we're not worried about the future. We want to win right now. And that's a hell of a way to look at it. And that's the best way to look at it, I think, because finding any of these young guys, if they end up panning out, that's great. But go with the guy that helps you win now. And that, to me, is an indictment on Jackson Carman as much as it's good to see Akeem Adeniji hold that right guard spot going into this week. I know he struggled last week, but before that, he had stabilized that position a bit. I expect him to rebound today in Denver. And that's the thing is this game, and again, you should check out my prediction. You should also check out Lindsey Patterson's conversation with Greg Cosell. This game is such a winnable game for the Bengals. And if they don't beat themselves, I think they're talented enough. Three-headed monster at wide receiver. And yeah, I get it, Patrick Surtain. And, they have a corner coming back. Their nickel corner's coming back. And, oh, man, Ronald Darby. And they have a really, really good safety. And, oh, my goodness, there's so many. If they go man-to-man against the Bengals, I like the Bengals. I like that matchup. I like T. Higgins one-on-one against pretty much anyone, or Jamar Chase one-on-one against anyone, or Tyler Boyd. And maybe they don't win every single time, but I'm betting much, much more times than not that one of them is going to win every single time. Maybe 95% of the time one of them beats his man. Well, guess who's really good at distributing the ball? Joe Burrow. I know there's been a lot of talk of, he's forcing the ball to Jamar Chase. All three Bengals wide receivers, they're stars. Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Despite injuries to Higgins, all three of those guys have 55 receptions or more. No other team in the NFL has a trio of wide receivers with 55 or more receptions. So it's a big game today. I think that this Bengals team, obviously, if they don't turn the ball over, and who knows, maybe the Broncos turn the ball over once or twice, but just slow down that rushing attack for Denver. I think they win the game. And so there you go. There's the little spoiler to my prediction. Speaking of winning the game, maybe you think the Bengals are going to win the game, or maybe you were watching the fights last night, or who knows, maybe you want to bet on the Browns and everything that's going on in Cleveland right now with COVID-19. You should do it with mybookie.ag. It's the number one spot for all things betting, whether it is, last night's fight, Paul Woodley, whether it's the NBA and Steph Curry, my guy, shooting three after three. Congrats to him on the record. Or maybe it's as simple as Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and the Bengals getting it done, not only today, but in the AFC North. You can bet on all of that and so much more right now at mybookie.ag. And the best part, you're going to get free money to use right now because they have a 100% deposit match when you sign up, when you use promo code BengalsTalk, up to $1,000. So let's say you want to deposit $50, $100, $500, $1,000. Use promo code BengalsTalk when you sign up. You're going to get another, whatever you deposit, a 100% deposit match. Free money to take advantage of it right now. So go there right now. mybookie.ag. Use promo code BengalsTalk. You won't regret it. And who knows, maybe you'll come out a winner. The Bengals underdogs. I like teasing. I'm a big teasing bettor. And to me, teasing the Bengals. Right now, they're 3-point underdogs. You could tease that up to like 10. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty confident the Bengals aren't going to get blown out. Now watch, they totally lay an egg today, and you guys throw hail at my comments here and throw eggs at my YouTube channel because I jinxed them. Well, that's fine, but I don't anticipate them getting blown out. So maybe that's an option. If you like a couple games, maybe you tease that line up a little bit. Bengals plus 10 is really, really juicy on the road today in Denver. Again, mybookie.ag, promo code BengalsTalk. So, look, I'm excited. It's a big game today. The Bengals, they need to get a win in December. All right? They do. It's long overdue after an 0-2 start. We'll see if they can get the 5-2 on the road. We'll have you covered after the game, post-game video-wise. Make sure you keep it locked on allbengals.com throughout the day, and we'll have the latest for you there as well. For our editor, Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now. As always, thank you so much for watching right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.